Hey guys, King of Charmass here, and for today I bring to you my OG anti-meta Season 1 Master League team that I broke into the number 3 team overall that eclipsed everyone's expectations and made me into a legend in the Pokemon Go community. I'm usually known as the guy that beamed everything to death in Season 1, or the guy that did this. Was the only person in the world to figure out a full anti-meta team to Master League. And the funny thing is, this team actually works pretty dang well a year later in Season 7. As you see here, I think the funniest part, if you look at the graph, it was actually, the analysis came out on 420, which was the second best number in the world other than 69. But other than that, as you see here, it is statistically powerful and it's insanely hard to run. I'm not showing you this video to encourage you to run it. I'm showing you this video because I understand how it works, because 1, I created it, 2, it's really hard to run, and 3, these are some really great battles. So I hope you enjoy this shoutcast. Alright, so this team is still, it still works, in my opinion. It still works really, really well, just for the sheer fact a few things change. The first off is that not a lot of people are actually using Dragon Pulse on Giratina O, so because of that, I don't really, Giratina O doesn't threaten me too much anymore. Also, if you play, the reason why this team is so hard to run is essentially you have to guess really hard with Hydreigon. Alright, so I actually lose this matchup against Groudon if I eat an Earthquake. My opponent switches out to Melmetal right away, and I don't know why, but they probably don't know how Hydreigon works, so they switch out immediately. Which, if you see a Hydreigon, you're like, wait, what is that? Because, like, most people nowadays, if I battle, they're like, what? As you see here, I can eat a superpower. I probably should have shielded this, but in all honesty, it's alright. But now then I start, like, thinking, and I'm like, okay, I have to shield this. So, I should have shielded the first one. Because what's going to happen is now they can swap in because Melmetal can double debuff because of the 30-second timer. My opponent swaps into their Groudon. I'm hoping they think this is a Surf, so they're gonna shield. And sure enough, they do shield, which is really good because I need that shield. So I switch into Mewtwo. Mewtwo has a pretty good matchup against Groudon. It can live in Earthquake at full HP, but like, I still don't want to eat one. Mewtwo is basically my win, like, key. I need Mewtwo to do as much damage as you can here. As you see here, it does heavy damage against Groudon because Side Strike is such a busted move. And they're gonna fire a move here. I think this is an Earthquake, so I will shield here. Again, I don't want Mewtwo to eat an Earthquake. Mewtwo's still really healthy right now, and it's more pressure on my opponent to have Mewtwo alive than dead. Because I don't know what they have in the back. So far, I know they have Groudon, and I know they have Melmetal. So, what do you have in the back? So, I'm taking guesses right now, and I'm thinking it's like double steal. So, I managed to erase the Groudon, which is good, and that's actually a Shundo Groudon, so I hate you, and I'm mega jelly. I fire a little bit, and I'm banking my opponent isn't counting, because if they're counting, they might be able to tell this is a Focus Blast, and they shield, so it's good. This is good. I need that shield. So, as you see here, I try to go for another Side Strike, but it just doesn't go off. They get to the Iron Head first. So, this is going to KO my Mewtwo, but I should be able to get to a Superpower with my Rhyperior, and then this was a really sweaty battle. Again, if my opponent didn't understand that they won, my opponent didn't understand that they actually won the matchup, because Groudon actually has a strong matchup against, it has a really strong matchup against Hydreigon, unless you can call the Earthquakes. You can eat Fire Punches, but you can't eat Earthquakes. As you see here, I swap into my Hydreigon, and all I have to do is fire a Dark Pulse, and that's GG's. One Superpower does not kill in the green. If you're in the yellow, it's a dangerous game, but in the green, you can live a full Superpower, as you see here. So, my opponent knows it's already game over, that's GG's. They quit out on the game because all I have to do is Dark Pulse, and that's GG's. Again, I really like it because not a lot of people understand Hydreigon. Well, I did create the team, and everyone in Masters Classic is just running mega meta, so... And the patterns still pretty much are the same. It's either Togekiss steals on the lead, and then you have Giratina O, or you have Kyogre, which are the 2 leads I actually target. Nowadays, you also have Mewtwo, so Mewtwo is one of the things I look out for. So, I do have contingency plans against, like, Togekiss, etc., but it just really depends. That's why I have Flash Cannon on Hydreigon. Match number 2, remember I was talking about Mewtwo? This is a great lead for us, if this doesn't have Focus Blast or Ice Beam. If it has Focus Blast, I have to call everything right. Now, I love Rhyperior in the back because Rhyperior farm strat is amazing. Like it, and I really like the superpower variation just because with superpower, it gives you that extra oomph against Melmetal, and it allows you to take out Dialga like you saw in the last battle. Surf is good, don't get me wrong, but like if I have to bait with a Rhyperior, listen, the way I look at it is if I have to bait with a Rhyperior, I'm dead. As you see here, you have to switch in really quickly, because if you don't switch in fast enough, this doesn't work. They can actually get to an Iron... They actually will get to an Iron Head before you can take him out with Mud Slap, just because of the fact Mud Slap is a three-turn move, I believe. But as you see here, we're going to fire Rock Breaker. We have we have a ton of energy, so I can get to 2 Rock Breakers thanks to farming down that Dialga. Remember, you have to be really quick on the Rhyperior trigger, because if you're, like I said, if you're just a little slow, I'd say like 3 or 4 Dragon Rats, they can get to a second Iron Head. As you see here, I managed to grab both shields. This is pretty much GG's. My opponent is going to overcharge here, and as you see, we get a little bit of lag. Yay! It wouldn't matter anyways, because even if I did get to that move, I actually lose CMP here. I probably should have shielded to take out the Mewtwo, but this is fine. I want to save that shield just in case. Because I have my own Mewtwo, and I also have a full Hydreigon. Because I don't know what they have in the back, and it's actually a Groudon. That's perfect, and this is GG's. This is actually really good. I didn't shield just because, like, Groudon doesn't have... I mean, Rhyperior doesn't have a great matchup against Groudon, basically. But Mewtwo does, so saving the shield for Mewtwo is really, really good. So I can shield the Fire Punch, I can shield the Earthquake, but either way, I will get to 2 Side Strikes, and you will go down, and that's GG's. I have my Hydreigon for the Mewtwo. Unless that Mewtwo is carrying Focus Blast, I should be pretty safe right now. As you see, I called the Earthquake perfectly. Mewtwo, like I said, it can eat an Earthquake, but it's not comfortable because it still does a ton of damage. Now, I switch in my Hydreigon. Even if this is a Focus Blast, I should... Well, yeah, if this is a Focus Blast, that's fine. As you see, it is a Focus Blast. My poor little dragon just completely gets yeeted from the face of the earth. And all I really have to do here is get to 2 Psy Strikes. Now, their Mewtwo is a perfect Mewtwo, so yeah, it's a Shundo, so yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's a Shundo. Yeah, that's a Shundo. So they have a Shundo Mewtwo. As you see, Shundo Mewtwo, even though Shundo Mewtwo is there, one Side Strike doesn't kill because they win CMP. But I win CMP against the Groudon. That's why I really like Mewtwo, because unless their Mewtwo is better than yours, mine is not a Hundo, actually. It's a 98. Then 9 times out of 10, you win CMP. As you see here, I win CMP against Groudon. The second one goes off, and that's GG's. That's why I love Mewtwo. I popularized the Psystrike Focus Blast Mewtwo all the way back in, like, the preseason. Because, like, in the preseason, and when I formulated a team, I was like, you know what, Focus Blast. Everyone said Shadow Ball, and I'm like, no, use Focus Blast. Focus Blast Mewtwo is better than Shadow Ball, because that's what they recommended. And I was like, okay, for sure enough, I proved it. Focus Blast Mewtwo is a god. Well, it does really good because it allows you to one-shot the steals. You can one-shot Snorlax as well, and it puts that pressure on your opponent. Because if your opponent figures out you have Shadow Ball, then they're probably not going to shield. And the only thing you cover with Shadow Ball anyways is other Mewtwo's and with Giratinas, which I already cover with Hydreigon anyways. So, just like I said, Focus Blast is great, and this is where Focus Blast comes in handy. As you see here, I lose the lead terribly against Melmetal. Melmetal is a great lead against Hydreigon. So, I switch into Mewtwo here. This is where Focus Blast gets scary. Even if you don't have Focus Blast, what you could do as Mewtwo is that you could gather the energy to get to a Focus Blast. I believe it's 10 Psycho... It's like 9 Psycho Cuts. Yeah, 9 Psycho Cuts, because 9 times 9 is 81 energy. And then, as you see here, I'm going to go straight for the Focus Blast. Now, this is really ballsy, but you know what? I was feeling pretty dangerous today. And you know what? I live really dangerously through 2 shields, and I get the Focus Blast in 2 shields. My opponent's probably pissed right now. They're like, wait, really, bro? I'm like, yes, bro. You just got blasted. Welcome to the blast. So we win back the lead, essentially, with just 1 move, which is why I love Focus Blast so much. If you blast through the shields, not only, like, well, actually, I made rank 10 Season 1, literally Focus Blasting through shields. As you see here, we could just let Mewtwo go here. I'm not going to shield here. There's no point. And then what I'm going to do is... Hydreigon has a great matchup against Snorlax. It actually beats Snorlax in a lot of scenarios. Superpower does damage, but it actually doesn't do too much. Like, you'll get... Like, it'll... put you in the yellow, but even then, like, you could still survive a whole superpower at comfortable ranges. So, but I will shield the superpower here just because I don't know what's in the back. That's basically what I'm thinking, and it is a Groudon. I'm happy I shielded that because if I didn't shield it, now my opponent can possibly KO me with, like, Fire Punch and some chip damage. Just because that would have done, like, that would have put me in the yellow for sure. I send in Rhyperior here. Rhyperior is essentially just a sacrifice because, like, I don't really need it anymore. So I'm pretty much just gonna, like, sacrifice, yeah, this, like, well, it's a Fire Punch, they bait me. So I'm basically I'm just sacrificing Rhyperior. This superpower should take the last shield from my opponent. All I have to do is get to a Dark Pulse, and that's GG's. But as you see here, yeah, I'm basically just sacrificing Rhyperior. That Focus Blast through shields was huge, and that's the reason I ran Focus Blast. Everyone was at, it's such a great move. I love this team. And for sure enough, it still does well in Season 7, even though Season 1 was way long ago. They get the full Earthquake down, that's perfectly fine. As you see here, I should be able to Dragon Breath my opponent down, even then. Because, as you see here, this is a great example of Warehouse Superpower. I fire the Dark Pulse off, this probably doesn't KO in the yellow though, so I'm like, oof, I probably should have waited till they Superpower, but this is okay. Because Dark Pulse goes off, and it's, yeah. 1 HP in a dream. Snorlax is very thick, and it's thick enough to survive, but in the green I live. As you see here, like I said, Superpower doesn't actually KO you. Puts you in the red. I should be able to Dragon Breath down, though. My, Dragon Breath is an OP fast move, and I get stabbed because it's a Hydreigon, so that's GG's. Really sweaty battle. We are 3-0 right now. So, yay. But, this is why I love this so much. The Flash Cannon for Togekiss, the Focus Blast for the Steel types. As you see here, I lose this lead as well, so this kind of sucks. So you guys already know what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna swap into Mewtwo, and we're gonna try to play this out. So we're gonna try to play this out because this is Dialga is so powerful. I loved it. They swap out into their Mewtwo, but this is great because I actually fire a Side Strike. Side Strike still does big damage against Mewtwo, as you see here. And now Mewtwo, now it's Season 7, Mewtwo is just everywhere. It's because of I understand though, because of the recent Mewtwo coming back out, and with Mewtwo being more available and everyone being able to get it, it's really good. In my opinion, even though Mewtwo's powerful, it's not as powerful as something like a Dialga. Dialga is just the destroyer of Master League. And part of the reason why Master League is so busted, because that mod just destroys everything. As here, they eat the Side Strikes. I try to switch into Hydreigon to try to catch a move, but unfortunately that didn't work. What I should have done here was switch into Rhyperior and hope my opponent switches, but you're gonna see, yeah, it's not very comfortable. I have to shield everything here, but unless I can figure something out, unless Rhyperior has a strong matchup against anything in the closer, this is pretty much GG's for me. But as you see here, sometimes that's what, Dialga is just so powerful. They shield their Dialga here. I attempt to swap into my Rhyperior, but apparently that was CMP, I think. So I'm gonna let Hydreigon go, and then I'm gonna send in Rhyperior. But here's what happens. I send in Rhyperior to attempt to farm down. I don't know why Go Battle Lag is taking my soul right now. And in comes a Kyogre. I basically get hard countered. So the only way I would have won that is if I Focus Blasted the Dialga, and there's no way I'm gonna, yeah. And then I just top left because there's no point. This is match number 5. As you see, I was pretty dang close to a 5-0. This team still does really well, and I'm pretty sure I'll 5-0 with it one of these days, but on this day, I did not 5-0. But you know what? It still does really well. I still love it a lot, and we get a Hydreigon into Ho. Ho was one of the new targets I was thinking about when I thought about bringing this team back. When you create a team, and no one else has ever done when you create a team, no one else has ever created it, and you understand it, like this one is, you understand it a lot, then you're fine. I can take a Brave Bird here, but I don't, so I'm going to shield here, because I can expect them to switch after that. But yeah, this, when you create the team, and you know the ins and outs, yeah, it's pretty nuts. As you see, we get the sweet Dialga switch. This is where I'm mentioning that you have to switch really quickly, because I think what happens here is that you'll see just how, if you switch late, even by, I would say, 2 seconds, they can get to another Iron Head, and that's what really sucks about this switch out. As you see here, I believe this is where they do get to, do they get to 2? No, I think I farmed them now, yeah. If I was a second later, on the same interval, it would have they would have got to another one. But here's the danger. They have 2 shields. I have 0 shields. Yes, they have a Ho, but the thing is, a bird can take out my Hydreigon, so I had to be very careful here. They send in a Mewtwo and decide to eat the Rock Wrecker, and I don't know why you decide to eat the Rock Wrecker, because that does big damage against Mewtwo. As you see here, I will get to another Rock Wrecker thanks to farming down that Dialga. They should shield this, because this does KO, so they do shield this one. And all I'm going to do is stay in. Because what I want to do is blow their energy, because I want to force them to think that I can get to another Rock Wrecker, and they in fact blow their energy here. I actually might have been able to get to another one if I might have been able to get to another just because it started such a low move. They fire off the Earthquake, and I send in my Mewtwo, as you see here. Now what I'm gonna do is pretty crazy, because I'm pretty much just gonna sacrifice Hydreigon. But that's basically what it is. Like, this team is really good still. I really like it a lot. With the rise of Mewtwo and the rise of Ho-Oh, well, more Mewtwo than Ho-Oh. Hydreigon's a beast. As you see here, I do this sweet combination. I break the last shield, and I send in the Hydreigon for the Dragon Pulse. This will KO the Mewtwo, and this is pretty much GG's. Now they're gonna send in their Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh is basically in a bird me to death here, but my Mewtwo wins CMP. And at full HP, it doesn't die to one Grey Bird. So I'm fine here. My opponent is going to Earthquake here, but I don't think well, do they? Yeah, they actually burp. They burp. Burp kills my Hydreigon just because it's so squishy, but it doesn't really matter because I win CMP. I can get this Side Strike, and that's GG's. As you see here, really sweaty battles. We went 4-1. I tried to 5-0, but as you see, this team is stupid strong, and it's stupid strong because I invented it, I created it, and from Season 1 up until now. Well, this is what made me a living legend, so I love this team so much. This is what made me who I am. Like, that's the one guy that used Hydreigon in Master League. That's basically what I'm known for. I hope you guys enjoyed those battles. Again, like I mentioned in the beginning, I wouldn't recommend you build this team. It takes such the amount of understanding you have to do, and just the amount of risk that it's a very unorthodox strategy, and like I said, unless you're confident in understanding how it works, I wouldn't build it to use it. There's a reason why you don't see this team everywhere. It's because it's hard to copy. Well, it's almost like no one can copy it. That's basically it. Like, it would take a lot for me to, like, actually describe the team and use it, and I think factually, other Pokemon, like Melmetal, Dialga, the big meta, they're just much stronger than this team overall. This team works if you understand, like I said, the strategy behind it. You need it, yeah, you don't need to just be a good player, you need to understand it and have a lot of guts. So, because, yeah. And that's it. Again, if you guys have questions about the team, I'll put it in the description, but because all three of these mons are so expensive and you might not have built it already, and like I said, the amount of time and education it would take for you to actually learn how the team works, there's a reason why people never used, like, I had people ask me about it, but past Season 2, no one ever used it, because it was just that complex. I hope you guys enjoyed the battles. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. This is my legendary team that made me who I am and made me know who I am around the community. I'm that crazy Hydreigon guy. Good luck and go Battle League sets. I hope you guys are climbing well. 36 timer is almost up, but as you see here, I'm really happy that this team still works in Master League, and especially in the 30-second timer event. Good luck and go Battle League sets, and I'll see you guys on the next video.